Next, we're going to start our next topic, task list and routing. So the topics that we're going to cover today, they are different types of task list, integration points of task list, assigning manufactured items to routing, allocate material components to operations, functions of sub-operations, retrieve additional fields in operations, engineering change management, where use list, and mass changes in the routing. So let us start with a business example first. As a project lead for implementing task list, you must be aware of the structural design of the task list object in SAP. In doing so, you need to learn how the task list and work center are structured to integrate with several business areas in your company. Your company has requirements to use task list and work center for costing, engineering, and production. So let us see first what is task list and what are the different types of task list we have in SAP PP. So when I say task list belongs to the different types of, you can say, routing that we can set up in the different areas of SAP. For example, the standard one, the most commonly used one, is a routing that we're going to study in this class today, and that belongs to PP SFC area. Then it also has another one called reference operation set that we'll see in another topic later on. And we also have other types of task list like rate routing that is used in the PP repetitive manufacturing. Then we have master recipe, which is used in the process industry. Then we have a rough cutting profile here, which will be used in a different part of SAP PP. And then another one called standard network, which is used in the PS module. And then last one is inspection plan, which is used in the quality management module of SAP. So basically all these are different types of task list, and the one that we're going to study in today's class is routing. So we'll see here what is routing. So let us start with routing. So first of all, we understand what is routing. So routing means basically when we want to define what are the different operations that a product will be going through during the manufacturing process. For example, if my company is manufacturing a laptop, for example, so first process of laptop will be going through, say, operation number 1 on this machine or this work center. So the first operation will begin, and the second operation will begin. Third operation may be, say, assembly. So final operation may be assembly. Same thing, if whether it's automobile industry or there's any other industry, they all using different types of operation. That means every product that is being manufactured has to go through different processes, or you can say different work centers or different machines, step by step. So basically in this routing master data, we define that what are those operations from which this product will be passing through, how much time it will take for setup, for going through each operation for the component or for the product. So here you can see, for example, so here you can see operation number first or operation number 10. First operation is on this work center T-A something, and this is all about lathe casing according to drawing. So first operation will be the product is going through lathe machine. Then second operation will be on another machine, drilling of holes. Third operation will be insert flat gasket, and the last operation will be inspect and deliver the stock. So these are the 4 operations, for example, for a product. And as I said, for every operation you can define what is the setup time, for that operation. So here you can see operation number 10 has setup time 10 minutes. What is the machining time and what is the labor? What labor will be used? So labor will be used for 30 minutes or whatever time. So let's do some practical now, where I show you how you can create routing. So the transaction code for routing is CA01 to create or CA02 to change. So here in the SAP login, you can go through this menu path if you want. Logistics, production, master data, routing, again routing, standard routing, CA01. So double click on it. So here I will be showing you how you can create routing. So here I already created a material called routing demo 1. So I'll be using this material to create the routing. So enter your material number that you created and the plant here and press enter. So when you press enter, system will be copying the material description to the routing description. If you want, you can change the routing description if you want, otherwise you can leave it like that. So for example, I can add something GS for example, or you can leave it like that as the material description for the routing as well. So here you can see we have few mandatory fields that we need to enter first. So first mandatory fields, any mandatory field you can see with this checkbox. I can't pass this screen unless I enter the value in these two fields. So first one is usage. If I open the options for usage, so usage here is production for us. So just pick production, and then status. What is a status? Status means you can select number 1. That means that's in the creation phase. That means no one can use it. It's just like a logged routing. So once you can release it later on so that everyone can use it. Or you can say release for production order but not for costing. Or you can say number 3 release for costing but not for order. Or you can say number 4 which is release in general. That means release for everything. So let me use number 4. That means release for everything. And once you're done, then press enter. And then click on, there's some tabs on the top you can see. So first click on operations tab on the top, operation. So here we're going to define the operations. So here you can enter the work center first. So the work center that we created in the previous exercise, here we can enter if you want. So this is the work center I created earlier. So enter this work center and press and also in the controlling key here, controlling key. So for now just enter PP01 as the controlling key. So if you open this search box for controlling key, you can see different types of options here, PI01, PI02, and you can scroll down, there's so many. We'll discuss about controlling key later on, but for now just use PP01 here and press enter. Once you press enter, system will take you to this screen where you need to enter what is the setup time for this work center, machine time, labor time and all that. So enter the mandatory fields here. Like setup time I can say 10 minutes. 10 here, unit of measure is minutes. And machining time can be say 20 minutes. I can say 20 minutes. So once you're done, press enter. So here you can see that is a work center operation number first, which is number 10. That is a work center, that is a plant, and that is a control key that we just entered. And also you can see is copying some standard text, where it's coming from. If you remember in the work center exercise, let me open one more screen. If I go to CR02, I've shown you when you create the work center, you can enter some standard text here that can be copied across to the next object. For example, here if I go to default value, this one standard text P0002, so that is a text is copied here. If you want you can remove it, if you want you can change it, but just for knowledge this is coming from here, that work center setup. So let me close it. So there's the first operation, and then I can enter the second operation. So I also created another work center, and again I can enter pp01, and here I can enter, say, setup time. On the right hand side you can enter, so I can say setup time is 15 minutes on this work center. That means to this machine they need to do some setting whenever this product will be manufactured. So 15 minutes will be taken to just the setup time, and this is the machining time. So I can say 30 minutes will be taken to machine the object. Press enter. So that means here you can see for base quantity is 1. What base quantity means? To machine one piece we need this much setup time and this much machining time. You can also enter proportional time. For example, if I enter 100 here, that means setup time will be 10 again, because now you need to think about the logic here. So if machine setup time will remain the same whether you machine 1 piece or 10 piece or 1000 piece, because setup is only done once for this type of material. So if you want to enter 100 here, so I can say 100 and 100 here, for example, or you can say 1000 as well. So setup time will remain the same, because setup is only done once, not for every piece for this material type. However, the machining time will increase as well proportionally. So you can enter like this, or you can enter base quantity as 1 and proportional machine time. So that's how you can enter it. And here another one I created, just leave for 2 work center for now. So but you can enter more work center if you want. So let me save it. Click on the save button, and your routing is saved. Is saved, and system will be creating a group number. If I click on the message at the bottom, system will give a number to every routing. So for example, if I want to open the routing, I can open the CA02 transaction /and CA02 and enter the material number and plant number here. Press enter. So that's the routing you just created. Just to see some more details, click on this header button, on this cap button, header. Here you can see the group number. That is a group number, the unique number that SAP will create for every routing that you're going to create. And there's a group counter. So group counter means that's one routing. If you create another routing for the same material and plant, system will keep the group number same. However, it will create the next group counter. For example, let me go back. If I create another routing, that means the same product can be manufactured by different machine as well. If I press enter, if I click on create button, you can see system will creating group counter 2. However, the group number will remain the same. That means that is the next routing. If you create a third routing, group counter will be 3, 4, 5, 6 and so on. So that is the use of group counter. But we're not going to create it. I will cancel it. Alright. So here I'm going back to the routing again. So as I was showing you the header, so there's a group counter, there's a group counter and a group number. Scroll down, here you can see created by, and if somebody changed by, validity date, when it was created on, and all that. So everything you can see on this screen. Go back to the operation again. So here we are in the operation. So as I was showing you the screen here, so like as I said, you can create different, you can enter different work centers. So first one is like lathe casing according to drawing, then drill holes and all that. If you want, I can enter the same description. I can say lathe machine operation, for example, and I can say drill holes, for example, like that, and so on. You can enter more work center, enter more description, and I can save it. Now let us see some theory about routing, and then we'll move on to more practical. So a routing determines the sequence of individual operations that are necessary to produce a product. As I said, routing is just a sequence of the operation that a product will be passing through while manufacturing. It describes the sequence of activities where the work is performed and how much of the work center's resource will be consumed. So work center resource will be consumed means how much time will be taken to manufacture this product. A routing can be created with or without a material number called group routing. So I'll talk about the group routing later on, how you can create the group routing. Routing without material numbers can be used by many materials that all use the same production process, production line, or manufacturing steps. What they're saying is group routing can be used by more than one material as a common routing. So that I will discuss later on in today's class. So that's a theory about the routing. So routing has you can see you have different operations in the routing. Operation number 10, here you enter the work center, you can enter the text, you can enter the control key, you can enter the time taken. Same way you can enter operation 20, 30, 40. And routings have some other setups as well, like material component, PRT, inspection characters, and all that. Let me show you this one. So when I open this routing again, so here if I select first line, and then here I can if I click on this PRT, production resources and tools, that means we can assign here production resources and tools. For example, if I click on PRT, there are 4 types of production resources and tools. So first one is material. You can assign a material as a resource, like a packaging material you can assign. Or if I click on say document means you can assign a drawing. So like to do this operation you need to follow this drawing. So here I can link a drawing. If I open the search button for the drawing, so here I can say, that's a search screen. Here I can say I'm searching for assembly drawing, say assembly star. That means give me every drawing starting with the text assembly. Execute. It's showing a lot of drawings, so I can pick one drawing. So that drawing is this one, so assembly drawing for pump. So double click on it, it will assign that here, and you can say one quantity of the drawing, and you can say OK. If I click on this OK button, you can see there's just a warning message, just say OK. So here that drawing is assigned to this operation, operation number 10, lathe machine operation. Same way, like I assign the document, same way you can assign the material, like a packaging. As I said, you can also assign miscellaneous, like if I click on others, what others is, here I can assign a production resource and tool. For example, if I open this, and this is a search screen, search for everything. For example, I can assign say a micrometer, or I can assign a hammer or some drill machine or some anything, any tool you can say, or Allen key or a spanner set. So for example, I can assign the micrometer here, and I can say OK, and I say OK. So same way you can, it's asking for a control key, I can say it's PP01 for now. It has a different control key, so let me pick. So first one is say all function, just pick that one and say OK. So that's the second one I have assigned. So second one is micrometer I have assigned. Equipment are assigned and used by the PM module, plant maintenance guy. So that is how you can assign these resources. And if I go back, you can see this P is, that is ticked, this grayed out is ticked. That means it has production resources assigned. So if you select the line again, click on the PRT button again, it will show you the what are the drawings and everything or the PRT you have assigned to your operation. Same way, then you can click on this inspection characteristics. If I click on that, here you can assign some inspection parameter. For example, if I, let me see if there's some data here. some instruction about the quality actually. So we'll talk about this one later on because this is not very well set up. So let me cancel this for now. So I'll talk about this one in another topic later on. So let me go back to this one. So here I have, let's talk about again the PRT that we have assigned. PRT we have assigned here. Now this PRT you can create yourself if you want. I can go back, I show you where you can create them, like drawings and everything. So here under master data somewhere, yeah, this one, production resource and tools, open that, production resource and tool. So as I said, there are 4 types of PRT. Material, you can create a material here, or miscellaneous, or document like drawing. If you want to create a drawing, click on create button. So here I can give it some numbers. Say I can say GS drawing. Just put some data here. Press enter. So here enter proper description. You can say assembly drawing for pump, or you can say or laptop, whatever you want to call it. And you can go to this document browser tab here. Not this tab, original tab. Here you can click on create button at the bottom, and here you can search for the drawing that you want to upload. So here it's looking on my desktop, and if I go to desktop, here I can attach a file to this one, and that's how you can assign you can create a drawing. So let me select this one, say OK. It's asking me what category you want to use. I can say this is AutoCAD drawing, and I can say OK. Or it doesn't like that file type, so it should be as per the AutoCAD drawing format. So it should be the right format. So I do not have that format here, so let me cancel this. But if you want to see the existing one, you can go to CV02N, double click on it, and here I can search for drawing. So I can say assembly star, enter. So say let me pick a drawing, enter. So here you can see the drawing. Yeah, here you can see all the documents that are attached, JPG file and whatever. So you can open this drawing here if you want, if they are attached. So that is how you can create the PRTs. Next we're going to talk about the routing integration in SAP. So what basically this means is you have the routing here in the middle, and that is integrated with, here is the routing, and that is integrated with the org structure on one side. Basically what that means is the work center that you are using and the material master that you are using, they are basically linked to a plant. So everything we're creating is within a plant, whether it's a material master, a work center, or a routing, and that plant is further assigned to the valuation area, and this valuation is further assigned to the company code. So we'll talk about the company code, valuation area, and the org structure later on in a different topic, but this screen is showing you that your routing is on one side assigned to the org structure, org units, and on the other side the work center will be used for the capacity planning. So work center will be used for the capacity planning. We'll talk about capacity planning later on, but that means is system will see that how much capacity I have depending on the workload that we have depending on the production order that are pending or the planned orders we have. System will be doing the planning to schedule something on, to schedule the production of a job on a specific day. That's called capacity planning. So we'll talk about this one later on. And also this is again integrated with product costing. So every routing, every production order that is used in SAP PP, they are being costed in the finance side of SAP. So finance people, they will be doing the costing and all that. So we'll discuss more about them later on. Default value profile. Now what default value profile is, like you have seen. So whenever I create a new routing, say if I say CA01, whenever I create a new routing, say I want to create a new routing here, press enter, click on create. You need to enter the usage, status and all that. If you want, we can create a default profile and the data will be picked up from that profile. So if I go back, if I start again CA01, let me pick demo material 2 for now. And here you can assign a profile. If I pick it, you can see the different profiles that are available here. So let me create a new profile. I'll show you how you can create a new profile. So you can follow this menu path in the customizing, or you can directly jump to the OP58 transaction. So let me go to the customizing /SPRO SAP reference IMG. So here we need to go to production and basic data, routing, operation data. Here you can see define profile for the default value. So if you execute that, click on the profile general data. Here I'm going to create a new one. So it's very easy. Click on new entry. I will call it ZGS, my initial. You can create yours. So I can say GS profile for routing. So basically here you can enter any default value. Like when you create the routing, you need to enter the plant and all that. So here you can say my default plant is 1000 usage. So I used whatever usage you want to use here, like production. Then status will be say 4 that we used earlier, 4, and task list unit. So whenever you create a routing, there is a unit field as well, if you noticed, but that unit is copied from the material master. So let's just leave it. Operation increment. So what that is, let me show you. So in the routing, here you have the operation increment. So you can see operation increment by default is 10, 20, 30, 40. So there is a gap of 10. So if you want to keep the gap of 100, you can put 100 here. Then default base quantity you want to enter. So what is the default base quantity? I can say I want to keep it 1000 as a base quantity, like that. Leave the others. You can see all that. Just leave it and just say save it. So as I said earlier, whenever you create any customizing, system will be, if you see this one as blank, then click on the create button, and here you can enter your customizing request. You can create a customizing request. So give it some name. I can say SAP PP changes for GS, and I can save it. System will be creating a new request number and say OK. So this is done. So if I now create a new routing, you will see the change. So here I'm going to use a profile that I just created. So use profile ZGS, and here I will be using demo material 2. So let's see the change. So because I'm using this profile here, system will be copying up the value from the profile. If I press enter, you can see 1, 4. Where is coming from? It's coming from the default values in the profile. Then if I go to the operation, you can see the gap is 100. Why 100? Because of the profile that we just created. And also you can see default base quantity is 1000. It was 1 earlier, now it's 1000. So that is how you can create your own customized profile if you want. Next, we're going to talk about material assignment within the routing. Now, what material assignment means is, first step, if you remember that so far in the training what we have done is, first we created a material, then we created a BOM, bill of material. Now we're creating a routing. So before you create the routing, it's mandatory that you have created the material and BOM, because in the routing you will be using, obviously using the material but BOM as well. So the use here is that you have, say, you have 5 operation in the routing. So operation number 10, you can see operation number 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. And suppose the bill of material is using, say, 5 components, and these components will be used in different work center or different operation. So you can link here that, okay, operation number 10 will be consuming the component first. Operation number 20 will be consuming the operation item 20, and operation number 30 will also consume the item number 20. Same way, operation number 40 may be consuming all 3 of the items, like that. So you can assign the material to each operation, that which operation will be consuming which operation. So let me show you. So in the routing, you can go to comp allocation. See comp allocation on the top. Click on comp allocation. Here it will show you the BOM. Whatever BOM is created for that, it will show you that BOM. So here I can select, so I can say first item. Select the first item where you want to assign to. You want to assign it to first operation, for example. Then click on the new assignment. And then click on the operation list. It will show you all the work center that you are using in the routing. So I want to assign it to the first operation, so I can say first radio button, and I can say OK. Same way I can select the second one, click on the new assignment, and click on the operation again. I can say second one. So that is how you can assign it. If you want to change it later on, for example, I want to assign the second one to the first one, select the line, click on the reassign button. So this time you need to reassign if you want to change the existing one. Click here and select whatever you want to select. So I can save it. So here you can see there's a BOM component first and the second BOM component. And the first one is assigned to operation number 10. Here you can see clearly. So this is assigned to operation number 10, and the second one is assigned to the operation number 20 here. So so you can assign one to many, as this screen is showing you. You can assign maybe more than one component of BOM to one single operation, like this. So that is the material component. Now the use is what is the use? You can ask me why we need to assign the material component. So what happens is, when you print the production order, so just say, see the printout of production order. So production order will be look something like this, just a rough idea, but it can be customized the way we want it. Okay, so the way whatever you want to print, everything you can see this. So here you can see in the production order, you can see PO number, for example, whatever 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can say PO date. What is a purchase order date? You can enter the date here, whatever date, XXXX. And then you can see the operations. So here you can see operation 10. Operation 10 is, say, work center is WGC GS lathe machine, and what components this operation will be using, that you can print here as well. So that means the operator who is going to print the production order, they can see the first machine will be consuming component. So for example, here the first component is keyboard. So I can say component here will be keyboard. So say if we manufacturing a laptop, same way you can say operation 20 will be say drill machine, and this will be using the component 2, bomb component 2. So in the printout you can see everything on what operation, what bomb component you're going to use. So as I said, you can have more than one bomb component to one operation. So you can have bomb component 3 and so on. So same way you can see the in the printout of the production order. So I can save it. So that is the material assignment. Now we're going to talk about group routing. So as the name is saying, group routing. So group routing means that we can create a single routing, a common routing that can be used by different materials. For example, in this screen you can see multiple product, one routing. So what that means is, so in my company, for example, we are manufacturing different materials, but all of the materials using the same routing. For example, my company is making say one material called green flower pot. Also they're creating red flower pot. Another material called blue flower pot. That means they all are flower pot created with different material number. However, the different thing is only the color or the bomb component. But they all going through the same manufacturing process, same routing. So this is also going to this routing, and that is also going to the same routing, and the third one is also going to the same routing. So that means we can create one routing known as group routing, and we can assign any material to that routing. So let me show you. So to create the group routing, what you need to do is to go to CA01, press enter, say, and the thing you need to make sure is remove the material number. So there should be no material number, only plant number should be here. And I can keep my profile here for now, and press enter. Without material number, you need to make sure press enter, and here you can't see any material number. So here I can say group routing for flower pots, for example, and here you need to enter the base unit of measure, say pieces, and this is copied from the profile. So go to the operation again. So let me enter, see the same thing. Operation number first is this. I can enter some value here, say 30 minutes to do that job. So just say there is one work center only. So I can say flower pot machine number 1. So here now you first save it. If I save it, what system will do? System will generate a routing number. Here you can see that's a routing number. That's a routing number. So I can use this routing number to open it. Go to CA02, remove this, but enter the group number here. Routing number or group number, same thing. Press enter. So it will take you to that routing. So here let me change the description a little bit. I will say GS. But in actual you can't remember any number. That means if I want to search for that routing, I do not remember the number. So how do you search for it? So you can search for the group number. So click on the search button. It will open the search screen for you. So here enter the short text, whatever text you put in your routing. For example, if I put this, so say flower star, for example, so everything starting with the group routing for flower. If I press enter, so searching for the text and looking for the routings or the group routing that we created with this text. So there are two. So I created one already before, and that's the one I just created now, GS1. So that's how you can search for the group routing. So here's the group routing. Press enter. Now we'll see, as I said, we can assign different materials to the one group routing. So to assign it, go to the comp allocation, and here you can enter a material number, or you can search for the material number here, or you can type your material number here. So I can say routing material demo this material and plant number 1000, and I can say OK. So it's showing you the BOM of that material. So you can say where you want to assign it. So I can select the BOM and I can say new assignment, click on operation. Because there's only work center, so just pick one work center. I can go back. If you want, I can enter another work center. The different components. So if I go to the comp allocation again, so here I can select the third component, click on new assignment, and I can assign it to operation number 2. So the first two are assigned to the first operation, and the third component is assigned to the second operation, and I can save it. If you want to assign more, what you can do, open the group routing again, go to comp allocation. So it's showing you that there's already one material assigned here. Now you want to assign another one, click on the other material, and here I will say routing demo 1 material, for example. This material I want to assign, or say 2, routing demo 2. So if I say OK, so no valid BOM is there, so there's no BOM for that one. So maybe let me cancel it. Let me pick a one with BOM. What I can do, I can go to the comp allocation again. Let me go back, start this transaction again. Or better, what I will do, I will create a BOM for that material, and then we will assign it here. So go to CS01. So here I can copy from the other BOM. Click on the copy button. It's taking a while. Let me open one more screen. Let me cancel it. For some reason it's taking a while, so we'll stop this transaction. Okay, so let me go back to the same routing, group routing, and here I can go to the comp allocation again, other material, and I can pick, say, demo 1 material, or you can assign without BOM as well. So let me pick this one. You can assign without BOM. Saying there is no BOM, you want to assign, you can say yes. It's creating, sorry, I should say no. So it's creating a BOM. So let me create a BOM here. I entered one component. Let me go back. So I created the BOM. Now showing me the to what operation you want to assign. So I can say I only selected one component, so I can say I want to assign it to first component. I can save it. So that's how you can assign more than one product to group routing. So here if I go back to this routing again, go to comp allocation. So here you can see whatever materials are assigned, you can see here. So the more you assign, the bigger the list will be. So that is the use of group routing. Next we're going to talk about the sub operations within routing. So what sub operation means is, as you can see here in the screen, that if you want to elaborate operation, for example here you can see there are three operations, operation number 10, 20 and 30, but if you want to expand the number 2 per second operation and you want to elaborate, so the second operation is saying machine pump casing, but you want to say that okay, there are 4 parts of this operation. First is the setup machine, then mill pump casing, turn pump casing, double pump casing. So you can assign it, it will be more detailed routing. So let me go back. So let me call the other routing that we created before for routing 1, not this one. So for example, if I open this material, if it has more than one routing, it is asking you which routing you want to see. It's assigned to 2 group routing and 1 normal routing. But let me show you the other one, this material that we used earlier. So here, if you want to enter the sub operation, so you need to put some space here, select the line here, click on edit, insert line, it will make a line here. So here you need to enter the operation to which you want to enter the sub operations. I'll say that's the operation and the sub operation number is 0001. So here you can enter the work center, that okay, on this work center I'm going to do it, pp01, press enter. Just asking the same thing again. So here you can see that is a sub operation first. Same way you can enter another sub operation. I can select this one, insert, do the same thing, but here it will be 002. And here I can enter another work center, but for now I will pick the same work center for now because I do not have many set up here. So enter some machining time, press enter. And you can enter the description, like as I said here, you can see setup machine, mill pump casing. So here I can say this is setup machine, this one is mill pump casing, like that. So you can enter, like I entered 2 only sub operation, but you can enter more. But the point to be noted here is the only purpose of using the sub operation is that first thing is you providing more detail of an operation, and this will be used in the capacity planning for more detailed planning. So while doing the capacity planning, system can plan it efficiently if one operation, if you provide details of the sub operation, if there is any. But the point to be noted here is you cannot assign material component to the sub operation. If I go to the sub operation, if I select this one, reassign, you cannot see the sub operation here. That means BOM component can be only assigned to the main operation but not the sub operation. So sub operation is only basically for the information purpose. Next we're going to talk about user defined fields. Now, what user defined field means, now every company is having their own different business processes. That means they have their own data they want to maintain, and they want to maintain their own fields within the routing as well. But what the routing that we're using here in the SAP system is a standard routing provided by SAP. What if a company wants to add some more fields as per their need? So yes, we can do it. We can add more fields to a routing, like customized fields. So here within the routing, within the operation, what you can do is, if you select a key, there's a thing called key. If you can select the field key, and then it will populate the text that you can enter here. For example, if I select first operation and double click on this number 10, operation number 10, it will take you to the detail of the first operation. You can see that's the first operation. You can scroll down. Here you can enter the field key that I was talking about. If I open the field key button, here you can see different options available for the field key. For example, if I pick something, say first one, user defined fields, let me see what that is. Once you select the field key, press enter so that it can populate the field. So after selecting this one, you will see these field 1, field 2, date 1, number 1, and all that. Let me try something else. This one, shut down, turn around. Let me check what that is. Again, press enter once you select. You can see this one is showing me different field like network calls, network action, and scheduled checkbox. If I select another one, say woodland, press enter, it is showing you TDN, maybe something business specific TDN, component, block, location code, and all that. So these are the custom field that we can create. So in the customizing, you can follow this menu path to create it. So let me go to the customizing, SPRO, SAP reference IMG, go to production, then basic data, routing, operation data, and define user field key, user defined field. So here, if you want to create a new one, click on new entry. Here give it a key name. So I can say ZGS, for example. I'm creating a test one for myself. So field key for GS. I'll put my initial here. You can enter the business name if you want. Now here you can, the options you have is, these are the options. You have only two fields you can create for text within 20 characters, 2 fields you can create for text with 10 characters, 2 fields you can pick for date character, 2 fields you can pick for quantity and unit of measure character, 2 fields you can create for value or currency, and 2 fields you can create for checkboxes. Alright, so let me show you here. So that's a text box with 20 characters. So I can say, okay, I want to enter palette type. What is the palette type we're going to use? Alright, and here in the other text I can say carton type. So whatever field you will use here, that will only populate, others will not populate. So likewise, date, I can say routing created date, for example, and checkbox I can say inspection required or not. So any field, so on this field or this field, like for checkboxes you have 2 fields, inspection, or here I can say another checkbox, say for example, you can say dangerous goods, for example, dangerous goods, for example. So there's not much area here, so I can say dangerous goods, for example. Is this a dangerous goods, the material that is going to be processed on this work center? So all these fields will be populated if I save it. If I save it, select your transport request as I said earlier. Now open the routing. So all these fields will appear over there. That's the routing. Open that. Double click on number 10 or whatever operation you want to go. Scroll down. So here in the field key, I can find the ZGS that I just created. So select ZGS, press enter, and you can see those fields here. So whatever I have put in the customizing, they are here. Like I can say pallet type, I can say chef pallets. Carton type, I can say M5 carton. Routing created, you can enter like as I said date field. You can enter any date here if you want, or you can leave it like that if you want. Just populating the field. Same way you can. The checkbox are created for inspection and dangerous goods. So I can say whether inspection is required for this operation. I can say yes and no. And any of the field. Now this field, it has two purposes again. First is these fields here are for each operation. So every operation can have different fields depending on what field key you use. So they are for information purpose in the routing. Secondly, you can also print them against each operation in the production order. So here, like for operation number 10, here you can say pallet is chef pallet. Like so, whatever data you maintained here, they can be printed again in the production order later on if you want. So these are the use of this field key. So that's field key. Now we'll talk about engineering change management. What is engineering change management? So engineering change management means whatever changes you keep doing in a routing, system can save it. Like so far in today's class, whatever changes I have done to this one, system will store the changes. If you want to see the changes, you can go to transaction CS60 or you can follow this menu path. So if I go to CS60 transaction, and for this material, task list type we're using is N. N is a task list type for this type of routing. Enter your material number and the plant for which you want to see the changes done. Who did what changes? If I execute that, so any changes that is done to this one so far, you can see that here. So you can see this person, this user changed it on this date. So every change is recorded. So I entered operation 10, then I saved it, I come back, I assigned PRT, and then I assigned another component like that. So whatever changes you keep doing, system will record it here. But if you want to apply a change in the future, that means I'm creating a change today, but I want this one to be applied on a specific date in future. So that can be done by a thing called engineering change management. That means I will create the change today, however, that will be effective in the future on a specific date. So if you want to do that, you need to create a engineering chain number. So what engineering chain number means? If you can go to CC01 transaction, or you can go to this menu path. Let me show you. You can go here, cross application component, engineering chain management, chain number, CC01 create. So you need to create a chain number first. So here, chain number I can enter. You can leave it like that. System will assign a number here, and press enter. So this engineering change management you can also use for BOM change in the future, material master change, routing change. All these components can be changed. Taking a while. Depending on the setup, system can also allow you, yeah, here it is, it's working now. So here I will give some description like engineering change management, ECM GS1, for example. I can say valid from, so I can put today here what date it will be valid from. So I can say it should be valid from, say, 1st of December of this year, or the 1st of next year, 1st of January of next year, for example. So I want to apply the change in the future, for example. Here enter the change status. Change status means active or inactive. Let's pick active. So I want to apply the change on this state and then press enter. Here it will ask you what object you want to change, or in which object you want to use it. I can say I want to use it in the task list. If you want to use it in the bill of material, you can select that. So the request number can be used in the material, task list, and bill of material, depending on what you have selected here. So I can save it. Once you save it, system will generate a number for you. At the bottom you can see the number, and I can note down the number. I can copy the number. Now next, what I will do, I'll go to the changing of a routing. So I want to change this routing, but here enter that number. In the chain number, enter that number. If you forget the number, you can search from here via description. So I can say ECM GS1, press enter. It will find that number for you, or you can search by created by, valid from, so that's a number if you forget, and press enter. When you press enter, you can notice system will be using the date you have defined in the chain number. Press enter again. So now whatever change I'm going to do here now will be take effective on that day which is defined in the ECM. For example, I can say I want to make the setup time as is 10 today. I will say this will become 20, 15 will become 30, and I will save it. Right, so saved. But if I come back to this routing again immediately, if I come back here now, you can see that's still 10 and 15. Why? Because that is planned to be changed on a future date. So on that specific date, system will update the setup time automatically. So same thing, you can also use the chain number in the BOM change. So here if you enter the chain number, you can also plan a change for the BOM in the future. And also in the material master, if I go to MM02, in the material master you can also see a field called chain number. So here you can enter the material master chain number and change whatever you want, but it will take effect on a future date. But as I said, whatever object you have selected, if you selected the material as object to be changed in the ECM, then only you can use it in the material master. Okay, now we're going to talk about ECM is used for the following purpose. What is the use of ECM? Engineering change management. So monitoring and documenting changes, planning and executing changes at a specific point in time, saving multiple change status for an object. So not only one change, you can make more than one changes for an object. Grouping changes that belong together. So you can group changes that are belonging to together. Next we're going to talk about reporting and routing. Reporting. So basically we have a reporting here called where used list for the work center. So if you want to see where my work center is used, for example, suppose we're using a work center or a machine in my company and that is used in a different routing for different materials. Tomorrow or today we're planning to purchase another automatic machine. That means this old work center we're going to obsolete and the new work center we're going to use. But before we create the new work center and start using it, I want to see where the old work center is used so that we can replace it with the new work center later on. So if you want to see where this work center is used, you can go to this menu path or SAP transaction. Here, go to logistics, production, master data, work center, reporting, where used, SAP. So open that work center SAP. So here, for example, I want to see this work center, where this work center is used in this plant. So execute that. It's asking for a variant. Just pick any variant, doesn't matter. Variant means just show me what view you want to see. Let me pick the first one. Say OK. So you can see it's giving the list that this work center is used in this material. That's a routing number. That material, that's a routing number. That material, that's a routing number, and all that. So here it's showing the list that where or in what routing number this material is used. So that is how you can see the various list for a work center. Next, we're going to talk about mass change. Mass change. What mass change is, suppose if you want to, like, take the example of work center. You want to change you bought the new work center and you want to replace, you created the new work center in CR01. Now you want to replace the work center automatically in thousands of materials or thousands of routing. So for example, the old work center is used in thousands of routing. Now it's not advisable to change open each routing and change the work center with the new one, replace with the new one. Now if there are thousands of routing, it will take many days just to change it, but using the mass change function, system can do it just in few minutes. Thousands of record can be changed in few minutes. So let me show you how you can do the mass change. So that is a menu path, or CAT5N is a transaction. So if I go to production, routing, mass change, extra, mass change, and CAT5N. Double click on it. Also, let me type some materials here. For example, so you got a list, for example, you got a list of all the work center where it is or the list of materials where the old materials is used. For example, first material is ABC, another material is ABC 1 2 3, another material is routing demo, another material is routing, you can copy that, routing demo 1, like that. So probably you got a list like this in the Excel file that you have downloaded from SAP, and all of those materials you want to change. So here in this screen you can enter single material, or you can enter the range of material. For example, I can say material number, if say they are internal materials, say I can say 8,000 or 80,000, 800,000 to 80100, like this. You can enter a range, or if they are random material, if they are not a range, you can copy from the Excel file wherever they are stored and click on this button, and next we're going to paste it. So that means you can download from SAP to Excel file the material to be replaced, and here in this screen click on the second last button, upload. So here I can upload and I can say execute, but for now I will delete it. So I'm just showing you how you can enter many or thousands of record here in this screen, but for now I'll be entering only the material that I used earlier, routing demo 1. So I'll just pick one material for now. So either one material or hundreds of materials, same thing. Enter the plant here, say 1000. Next, you can filter it, like filter by work center and all that, but leave it like that. Go to new value tab here, second tab. Here you can enter what work center you want to replace with. So here, so say if I open one more screen here for the routing, CA02, open the routing. So this routing is using this work center. So I want to replace this work center, right? So here I can say work center WCGS. I can say WCGS I want to replace with this work center. So put whatever work center you want to replace with and enter the plant. And also you need to make sure you select this adopt button. If you select the adopt button, then only it will change for that field. Not only this, you can also change the setup time in mass. For example, I can say setup time I want to create it to 50 minutes. Whatever you want to change, select adopt. If you do not select adopt, that field will not be changed. Same way I can change the machine time. I can change machine time to 60 minutes, adopt, like that. So whatever data you want to change, you can enter here, and then you can make sure you click on the adopt button. You can also enter the chain number, like you can change against the ECM, engine change management, in the future change. But let me execute it. So system is showing me that it found this material and there are two work center that is using. Two work centers using. So you can select whatever operation you want to select. I can select this operation you want to change and click on this mass change button. If I click on mass change button, you can keep an eye here. Here it will change the work center with the new one that I entered earlier. Click on mass change. It's showing me one error here. Let me check the error. Operation is logged because I opened it here. That's why it's not changing. So let me go back and try again. Go back. So select the first operation and keep an eye here on the work center. It will change it with the one I entered earlier. Click on mass change. For some reason it's not changing. You can see the message at the bottom, 0 records for change. So what I can do, I can go back and let me check again. Let me remove this one for now. Go back here. Let me just remove all the entries for now. Just select the work center, this one. So let me try again. And here let me select that. Click on mass change. So you can keep an eye here. Mass change. Still not doing it. I've seen it before. I need to log off from SAP and log back in again. I don't know why, but sometimes it does that. I need to log off and log back in again. You can call it a bug or something. So if I go to CA85N, there's a material, new value, and there's a work center I want to change. Okay, let me remove all the unwanted data and execute that. Select the first one, and that's a work center we want to change. Mass change. Still not doing it. Alright, the issue here is because the material that I was using earlier is using a chain number, like it has a planned future chain. That is why you can't change it using this transaction. So what I can do is I can try a different material like routing demo 2, which is not using the chain number, engineering chain management. So I'll select this one. Let me try, and here I will say let me use this work center, and I will say I want to adopt this one. So if I say this one and if I say execute, Now let's see what happens. So here you can see the both work center are using this one. So you can select what work center you want to change, first one or second one or both. So select both. And now if I click on mask change, you can keep an eye on work center here. It will change to ZZGS that I used in the the previous screen. So if I click on mask change, you can see it is changed to ZZGS1. So that is how you can use a mask transaction. So as I said, you can create thousands of records just by clicking a button. I can go back. I can say, okay, I want to change it again to WCGS. I can execute that and select your lines. Now it's using this one. I can click on mask change again, just showing me a message here. Double click on the error message. Okay, it's using some different activities type. That's why I know what that is. We'll talk about later on. But because of my activity, you can't change it back. So you need to allow the other activities as well to the new work center. But this is how you can change it. Make sure when you practice this one, you do not take any material which is using engineering change management. So that's your mask change. As I said, you can use the mask change functionality to change not only work center but different parameters like setup time, machining time, and all that. So that's all for today. So let's see what we have done in today's class. So we have seen the types of task lists used in and its integration points with different modules in SAP. How to assign the manufactured items to routing, so like BOM assignment. How to allocate material components to an operation, sub operation in a routing. How to customize additional fields in the routing. Engineering chain management we have seen. Where use list in the reporting section we have seen. Mask change in the routing we have seen, and that's it. Now for assignment, I want you to do the practice on these points. Create one routing for material that you have created previously in the previous exercise, and plant 1000. Use the plant 1000 and maintain all the setup time, machine times, etc. that I have maintained in the lecture. Maintain sub operation for a routing. How you can maintain sub operation? Just go through the sub operation as well. Replace work center for above routing using the mask change function, C85 and transaction. And how you can use the where use list for the work center. And how can you mask change your routing? I mean, here I'm talking about how you can mask change different fields. So just go through the C85 and see what are the fields available that you can use for the mask change only. So that's all for today, and thank you very much to watch this lecture. I will catch you in the next lecture.